another win, this time on a third horse.
Yeah, this year by far was the hardest one to win. It was a much more competitive field. The calibre of horses here was the best we've seen here, and I got to say the show jumping was bigger and wider. I think the show jumping was bigger than Rolex, and then the cross country was a real test. And I think it's been good that they've sort of gently built it up like this, but the cross country was influential this year compared to other years where it wasn't that influential, and I hope that it doesn't get any harder just because it's at the beginning of the year, and you know, we really had to press the horses to be competitive, and so it's that fine line between seeing who the best is and not pushing it too far. My horse, Welcome Shadow, is one of my favourites in training at the moment. It's a failed fox hunter, well, a fox hunter from the owner, Craig Callan, and it was sort of the first horse that got me going with Gloria and Craig, and they're residents down here. Craig's a polo player, and this horse has come from left field, being a fox hunter, and like, you wouldn't get a horse that tries any harder than Welcome Shadow. I thought she was great in all three phases, and yeah, I was proud to win. It was obviously a bit weird to win just because the horse that was going into the lead was Scandalous with Marilyn Little, and she had a spill on her first horse, Demeter, and so it was a bit, you know, you wonder if Scandalous would have got the time, or, you know, like, she's a fierce competitor, and you know, it's a hard one to say if she would have got in there or not, but it is what it is, and I'll quite happily take the check home.
And Buck,
There's another question from Boyd. Is it true your wife is so mad at you for letting your son go in the lake?
Yeah, I'm usually after you win.
Are you sleeping on the couch tonight?
Yeah, usually after you win a big event,
you can actually put
like, guaranteed passionate night. And she's not talking to me at the moment because I was watching our kid and he ran straight into the water jump. So
I saw her after, and she is not happy.
She's a bit wound up.
So he may be a great rider. He's a terrible daycare specialist.
So I got a bit of patching up to do.
Thank you for Land Rover for actually going in. Look at her shoes. She went in the water and
rescued him.
Yeah, went into the water.
Thank you.
Rescued Boyd's child. So it's a team effort between the sponsor and the rider.
I was standing back thinking, right, this is sink or swim. He was doing all right.
And Buck, moving up into second place, can you talk about your show jumping and cross country rides today and how you felt?
Yeah, first I think Boyd's little kid hit my daughter. So there's a little bit of domestic violence going on. So that check that Boyd got, he might need for bail money, I'm not sure. So maybe he was trying to escape the authorities. Sorry, what was your question?
Can you just tell us how you felt today with your show jumping and then going into cross country?
Yeah, I was really happy with the mare. I gave her a cross country school this week, and I called Sherry and Randy and told them that she'd never gone so well and she'd never been so straight, and she couldn't have been better this whole weekend. I was really happy with the dressage. She was great and tried her heart out in the show jumping, and then she was as straight as could be today. So she's very fast, and she's a fun horse to ride around these kind of events.
And Doug, maybe also a bit about your horse, but the atmosphere and everything that surrounds the event. What's it like for riders here?
I've got to first off thank Mark and his team. I think this is an incredible competition, and I think will prove to be incredibly valuable for these horses that are able to come here early in the season. There's a lot of atmosphere, more so than you're going to see anywhere except for maybe Rolex and, you know, domestically. And I think it's a great preparation because we seldom have the opportunity to have these horses in such an environment. So I think it's an incredible asset to the sport to have. And I couldn't have been more happy with, we call him Quinn at the barn. And I mean, he was very good. I was disappointed, had the very last jump down. But on cross country, he's a bit of a dirt bike, and we just kind of go out and cruise, and learning to trust him more and more, and just incredibly lucky to have the opportunity to ride and work with him. Debbie Crowley owns him with us, bred him, and so she still has his mother. And so I think it's really special for her. Unfortunately, she was unable to join us this weekend, but I'm sure she's elated at the moment.
Will Doug be getting this rail as well?
Yeah, I don't want to make this a habit, you know, like this one probably cost me another 10 some odd grand. Brutal.
And Mark, maybe you can speak to the event, the growth within this third year, and bringing Land Rover along for the title sponsorship.
Thank you. First and foremost, appreciate the kind comments, Pat, but it really does take a team. Jim Wolf, Shelley, Mark Phillips, Michael Stone. I mean, it really is a great team to pull this off, because during this we have a 4-star competition, the Great Charity Challenge, and under 25 events going on at the same time. So it's really been a busy weekend. I want to thank Land Rover for stepping up and really distinguishing this event. I think this is an interesting event. I mean, we tried to create an event, I think 3 years ago, and were told we couldn't. Not to stop us, we decided to create, what we called the Eventing Showcase. And Jim, myself, and Michael Stone sort of crafted a competition called in Mark Phillips, and really wanted to create an environment where we could demonstrate the great athleticism of both the horse and rider in a compact environment, which would allow for many new spectators and owners and folks that just had never seen eventing to come and experience this. I think it's going to grow. I think we're at a point now where I think we have a really good format, and I think next year we're really going to try to push this event and make it something very, very special. We'll talk to Land Rover and others. I think there's room for this type of event. As I said yesterday in my comments, this is not to displace traditional eventing, but it's an opportunity to provide a lens into eventing for group people who may not get that experience. And I think we're getting great interest in it, and I'm hopeful that we could potentially create a 3-event series that would continue to grow in prize money, and it'd be almost like a triple crown opportunity within a couple of venues. I think I'd like to throw one in at least in Tryon, and find one other venue to do that, and then really provide a great economic incentive for this group, because I think you could actually get a huge following. So we're going to start planning that tomorrow, or Jim is anyway, and I'd love to hear from you. So anyway, once again, thank you for coming, and we're very excited about this event and the future of eventing in this country.
And Jim, would you like to say a few words about the event and the differences we've seen this year?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Mark for indulging me and letting me do eventing stuff. As a lot of you know, I've come from eventing and love the sport, and it's always been good to me, and it's fun to be able to do this with Mark and Michael Stone and the great team they have here, and put on something I think is unique and special for the sport of eventing. And I think we're onto a really good product here. We try to create sports entertainment properties, and I think today was great sport and it was great entertainment. I think it was successful that way. I think we would like to grow it and always improve on it. I think Mark Phillips did a brilliant job on the course. He did make it a little tougher this year, and we do, as Boyd pointed out, there's a fine line between making sure it's tough, competitive enough for a $100,000 eventing class, but not too much for this part of the season. So we fly close to the wind on that one. But I'd especially like to thank Land Rover for stepping up and being our title sponsor. They're a great supporter of the sport. They've been a great supporter of eventing worldwide. As everyone knows, they're a big sponsor at Burley Horse Trials, and they've been a partner at the Rolex 3-day event for a long